This video is for people concerned that they may know somebody involved in a cult. As you may wonder, how will I recognize if somebody may be involved in a cult? But recognition starts long before an individual actually becomes involved in a cult. Here are some factors you should consider, for these may contribute to an individual being more vulnerable to being recruited by a cult. Number 1, if someone is in a transition stage in their life. These can include going from high school to college, moving, marriage, a breakup, etc. Transition periods can often make an individual feel weak and lost, as change can disrupt the body's usual patterns. Cults typically prey upon the weak and vulnerable, making this group easy targets. Number 2, loneliness, confusion, and low self-esteem also seem to be a contributing factor. In a study by Coates in 2010, participants who joined a cult in their adolescence identified these 3 factors when asked what influenced their decision to joining a cult. In that same study, participants who joined the study during late adolescence/early adulthood identified family background as the highest contributing factor. And number 4, it is common for individuals to question their spirituality and meaning of life, which is why this is an incredibly important factor when examining one's vulnerability. All participants in the study performed by Coates referenced needing to find answers, or as 2 of the participants referenced it, a search for truth. This can also be tied in with the search for religion, as most religions offer an explanation for fundamental meanings of life not otherwise offered in reality. The search for answers is a common experience in adolescence, which makes young people going through transitions even more vulnerable to cult ideologies. So what's the next step? For individuals, if recruited, will start to show signs that they are involved with the cult. Some of these signs include becoming socially isolated, especially from family members. Cults try their best to reduce outside noise and refrain the individual from seeking answers elsewhere, and thus limiting the chances of the individual being persuaded by friends and family members to venture on a different path. But even if you do notice this person becoming more isolated, if involved with a cult, it is unlikely you will get many in-depth answers as to what this individual is doing with the group, which leads me to number 2. The individual will become untrustworthy of others. A core manipulation tactic used by cults during recruitment is leading the individual to believe that this cult is the only solution to their problems, and that any other resource attempting to do the same is leading them in the wrong direction, perhaps on purpose. It has been shown to take an extensive amount of time to break former cult members from their previous thought patterns that lead them to distrust outsiders. But in this stage, what can you do as a concerned friend or family member? Legally, if the individual is of age, there isn't much you can do, such as force no contact. What you should do is try your best to maintain positive contact. In a study by Rousselet et al., 32.3% of participants reported that family intervention aided in their departure. This number would be higher if cult members felt like they had a support system to return to during and following their departure. It is possible that you may want to distance yourself from the cult member as to not have them be tied to you, or you simply do not support their decision and do not wish to maintain contact. While both of these reasons are valid and rational, I urge you to maintain a relationship with the individual involved with the cult, even if that means just an occasional conversation. Thank you for watching. Resources for more information can be found in the description.